Okay, let's first see what we have actually. We have archers, so that's good. And we have infantry. So we're gonna take the archers. So this is actually great. There's an archer, the Bolton's boy. So let's see what we can do on this one. Okay, a level 3 Bolton's boy. Now if I saw my archer tutorial, I know the following people do the most damage. Sheila, Soren, Robert, we'll put Sansa front. Okay. So the rest is not free to play, of course. So we have one filler. Maybe give them a tank, right? I don't like that. Okay, we're gonna do this first. These are all my free to play archers. Let's see how much we do on damage. We do only 13%. That's shamefully low. Okay, this is going horribly wrong. Kravras got sniped instantly. So I actually noticed this before, that if you don't fill the front line, it will not take the middle char as first target. So if I would switch these two around, just to test it, because he instantly murdered Kravras. Let's see what happens now. Of course this is a bit more damage. And now it just places Sheila front line, even though I absolutely didn't say that. But it does focus Sansa now. So what actually happens is it starts counting the front line, and it just takes the first char from the top and puts that top, and then it takes the second char and puts it middle, which is really weird. So Sansa is almost dying, but she does survive. And I know what you're thinking, you're full of it, but I think I can prove this actually. So I put Soren in the back line and Sansa front. And I just put Soren front line, because it starts counting from the top. So I put him backline, but he actually put her frontline. So that's a flaw in this game that's really annoying. Okay, with that knowledge, we want to make a 6-man team, of course, for this one. So let's start with this team, see what happens. We boost everyone's stats, including Sansa's frontline, a little bit with Tyrion, and their attack as well. Let's see how that works. Here it comes. 18% damage. So that's our baseline for a full attack. So let's see if we can get that to at least 25. So from our bowman tutorial, we know that Kavras is the lowest damage. So we remove him first. And let's replace him with the highest infantry commander, which is Beret. And let's see how we do now. Here it comes. That is a 23, so that's 5% more. That's really interesting. This most likely confirms that a bowman does not do a bonus to a bowman. So sending a full bowman attack to bowmans is actually not that interesting at all. And it's something we don't want to do. That's actually more than 5% more. So that's interesting, but not enough. So next up we actually have Robert, who didn't do much damage either, just a few percent more than Kravras. So let's see, do we have another very high damage dealer? Of course we have Ira. Now you don't want to put her here, because it takes a very long time for her to get there. And if we want to do better, we can even put her in the middle. So she's there really fast. And the rest of the infantry commands are not interesting enough. We actually do less damage. And this makes sense because Sansa died. Just what I thought. Because it didn't make sense to me. So there goes all my damage. So obviously this is a problem I don't want to cope with right now. So I'm actually going to take out the commander that I think will do the most damage, but can take any punch. And I'm replacing Sansa with Gorel. Now my question will be pretty much, will he be able to survive? So we have to test that first. We do 23, which is pretty much the same as before. He dies halfway, so this is absolutely no-no. So let's remove him as well. So at this point the solution is quite obvious and pretty much the only one possible. We need to replace Tyrion with Janna, and we always put Janna in the middle because of her buff. In the middle she can buff everyone. 25, at least the highest. Okay, so Gorel still dies, so we still lose damage on this. So I'm kind of done with dying people here. So I'm gonna put in Chris actually, because I think he's tankier, and see if he can survive at least. Okay, this is 28. Again, a lot more. Well, he did survive, but on higher rebel leaders, this is not gonna cut it. This basically means we have to bring in Sansa. But I'm gonna put her frontline. Because Jana will heal her as well she will heal herself, and Jana will also give her strategy. I also have Tyrion, who also gives strategy, so I'm gonna add him as well. So we make sure Sansa is fast enough to heal herself all the time. Let's try this. And this does 25, a little less. So Sansa can actually easily survive here, that's obvious. I think she's probably fine against the level 4 as well. But our damage was lacking. Who else do we have? We have Arslan, so let's replace him with Arslan and see what that does. This is actually less damage. She didn't die. So far our best attack was with Chris actually. We have to continue on that one. So far our best attack was this. So I'm gonna try it with Sovereign. 27.51. So Chris actually does more damage than Sansa. So we want a front line. So what if we take Haley, who had 3% more damage than Chris? If Chris does more damage than Sansa, Haley should do even more damage, provided she survives. So let's try that. 28.25. So the good thing here is Haley has no problem surviving in this. So that means you can also take her to a level 4 and level 5. While Chris actually had massive problems surviving. So I'm gonna keep Haley on this one. And not Chris. Because if I want to bring Chris, I'm really gonna need some better backup. So then I almost have to replace Jana with Sansa to heal him properly. And that will cut massively in the damage. So we lose the boost from Jana. And I can prove that easily, of course. It does 25. So if I replace Jana with Sansa, I do 3% less damage. Actually more than 3%, so that's not an option. Now there's something very important I want to show you, and it's called the heal bonus. And I noticed that the first time when I was bringing Rob and Chris to a formation with Sansa. And the difference was that Rob got healed massively, while Chris only got healed a little bit. And that's actually called the heal bonus. As you can see here, Haley has a heal bonus of 48%. Chris has a heal bonus of 0. Now Rob has a heal bonus of 82%. Gorel also has a heal bonus of 0. We don't want to bring Sansa. She has massive heals, which will help us a lot. But we do have Jana, who has weaker heals, but also gives attack buff. So what we want to use is either Haley with her 84%, or we want to use Rob, who surely will be healed massively. Another thank, of course, is Russell, who also has a heal bonus of 0, so that's not enough. Now, with this newfound knowledge, we can be sure that Jana will be plentiful healing Robb Stark. However, in the cavalry tier list, we notice that Robb doesn't do much damage. Obviously, he does enough. Alright, so far this is the best formation. Now let's try to replace some of my core damage dealers. Switch Soren with Meryl. Let's check that out. Also 28, so it looks like Soren is a bit higher. But Soren is gold, of course, so usually Meryl will be the best choice. If you have Meryl gold, of course go Meryl instead of Soren. And then the other high damage dealer is Mango, of course. There we go, lot up, so he can stay. Okay, I'm gonna quickly try something. I don't have a healer, so Rob probably will die. That's a lot less. Yeah, Rob died in half the battle. So obviously we have to bring Jana. There's absolutely no choice. Then I want to try to switch Meryl with Sheila. Meryl is only green. And Sheila is purple. And that's less, so absolutely keep Sheila in there. I want to give Russell one shot as well. He doesn't have a heal bonus, but he does heal himself as well, so. No, that's a lot less. Now, if you were to replace Arslan with any of these champions, you will instantly notice a massive drop in damage. It will all be 26. So we know that Meryl is the next up in damage, but it will drop with 2% when you replace it with Ira, when you replace it with Barret, or when you replace it with Sheila, it will even drop to 26%. I did the same test with Arslan, and it drops like 3%. That doesn't mean they're worse, but it does mean if you have Meryl or Arslan at gold, and you have only Barret at grey, or Sheila at grey, or Arya at grey, you can use the other ones who will probably do more damage. So these are your backup champions. Now almost every fight against a level 3 Rob will drop at dangerously low health levels. That means, especially against level 4 and 5 rebel leaders, Hayley will be by far the superior tank. For rebel leaders 1 to 3 you can put Rob in for a little bit extra damage. Depending on the quality of your commander, Meryl Peak might actually do more damage than most of the other ones, if he is gold. And as last backup you can use Arslan if you have him at a high quality. So I do hope this was helpful for you, and I hope you learned a lot from it. If you want to help me, please share this with your alliance, let other people know, let other people see it, and help spread the word about my channel as well, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.